You know, Greg, I think the biggest thing, Los, and you think about Rafael Devers is, I think he went home this offseason and paid attention to some of the things he didn't do well last year. So made 22 errors, has one this year. You look at Babbitt, and we can talk about analytics all we want. His Babbitt this year is over 360. So he's putting the ball in play, right? Average is over 320. But I think when you talk about the book, the league and the book, it's always like there's one little thing that always haunts you. And when I'm watching them, it's like the fastball. And I'm like, wait, how does Rafael Devers have a problem with the fastball? Well, I'm watching him the other night against Jake Odorizzi before he left with that nasty injury. I'm saying 92. I mean, he's trying to go deep. That was a little bit more, 94. Okay, fastball up, 94, he takes it. Foul it off another fastball right down. I mean, splitting the plate, strikes out on 91 cutter. And I'm like, wow. So then you say it's Tuesday, you go, okay. Now, is he ready? Now, he knows Urquidy, he has a little bit, you know, a little bit more velocity on his fastball. That's 96. Next second pitch, boom, dead center. But he wasn't pulling off. So it's a little bit of him pulling off. But then I watch him tonight, and I go, wait a minute. Garcia, all right, what's the book? The book is a fastball, so he starts on a fastball, and then he goes to his secondary stuff. And now I'm saying, well, Rafael Devers, he can hit this. He's mad at himself for taking that 2-1 fastball off the plate, but he can hit that off-speed stuff. And you're doing him a favor if you go into the off-speed. He's fouling off to get to the pitch he wants. Now, he's out front because, you know, he's late, and then he throws him the down and slider, and I mean, curveball, and he goes for a triple. And then we saw Xander go deep and put him in a hole 2-1. But I just think about when you're watching Rafael Devers, he's so good. He pays attention to detail, got himself in great shape, you know, cut down on the errors. And then you look at him starting to put the ball in play more. His average, I think he's going to always be over 300. He's that good. But when you see a guy struggle on the fastball, what's the one thing you think?
I'm thinking, well, as I'm watching him, he understands he's got the green monster. This may be a pretty good approach, except that if you start getting blown up, you're going to have to adjust, just like he did on that, you know, plaque that straight away center field. But you're thinking to yourself, okay, if I'm late on the fastball, I can still hit it off the monster. I know I'm going to get a bunch of off speed. I'm good if you have an informed approach and strategy at the plate. I'm good with that. But when you're getting center cut fastballs and you're late on them, you know, that's a tough one for me to take. You know, because I used to hit off the fastball. Now, not to say that I didn't sit pitches once in a while. And I moved my sights on fastballs. And I got better at it as my career went on. So sometimes I wonder what young hitters are thinking right now. But if you're getting fastballs like he did today, you saw a bunch of fastballs that he missed. Has he turned into one of those guys that is going to sit slider against Garcia right there? Was he sitting slider the whole time and letting the fastball beat him because he knew he could go off the monster?
It looked like that.
Right? It did.
But when you're watching the bat, I'm saying to myself, there's no way Rafael Devers is not thinking I can just flip this ball off the green monster anytime I want. Right? As a hitter, when I played in Fenway, it was like that was the luxury we had. Because if you were struggling, I would almost turn my body and go, well, anything you throw, I'm gonna try to go this way and knock that thing off the, you know, off the monster. And I always said fastball. I was never on the off-speed pitch. I never thought, unless a guy obviously threw 80% off-speed and, you know, and didn't like his fastball as much. But when you're watching a guy as good as Rafael Devers, a superstar, a guy that's gonna be around for a long time, it's just odd that you see him miss the fastball as much as he does. And the book says he can't hit it. I believe he can. It's just the approach is a little off.
Absolutely. It's just his approach. And look, he may be doing this because that's precisely what he set out to do, which is let the fastball beat him because he'll hit it off the monster, right? And another thing that I noticed about him is he's good at like kind of setting up his angle. So he can hit balls deep off his back foot because of the way he sets up at the plate with slightly open strides, a little bit open. He can let the ball travel and go off the monster. But when you overdo it, you got to, you know, you go back. He goes back tonight and he sees how many fastballs he got to hit that he missed. You got to go back to the drawing board. Like maybe the book has changed on me. I better be ready for the fastball.